Agatha Christie and the adaptations of her books were a very, very, very formative part of my childhood, in the same way that Murder, She Wrote with Jessica Fletcher was a very, very formative part of my childhood, and to a lesser extent, the old Perry Mason TV series was a very formative part of my childhood. But I do have to question who's watching this adaptation. I just feel that we've seen this story done twice, once in 1978, and possibly more times, but I know very, very well that there was a good adaptation of this, featuring Angela Lansbury, incidentally, in 1978. And we've reached this point where the BBC does these adaptations of Agatha Christie books that are basically as good as anything you're going to see in theaters. And I have to question, what's making this worthy of a trip to the theaters? What's making this better than a TV movie? I didn't dislike Murder on the Orient Express, although to me it lives in the shadow of the film version that already existed of that film. And I like what Kenneth Branagh is trying to do. I think, though, however, that we've reached a point where these films just don't seem worth going to theaters for most people. But let's see what this trailer looks like. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, there's some exciting talent in the cast, but I suspect that this isn't the kind of movie where an actress like Gal Gadot makes a very, very strong impression. I think she has to be in a very specific type of movie. I think, based on how Daisy Ridley did in the first movie, I think that some of these cast members are probably not going to stand out too much in this type of film. But let's check it out. That's a nice shot.
The romance of the desert.
Oh, I forgot about his
Has
accent.
the power to seduce. I ask you. Have you ever loved so much?
Letitia, Wright.
Been so possessed by jealousy.
No, they're trying to make it look cinematic.
That you might kill.
October. Really?
The crime is murder.
Should have hidden it, shouldn't you?
The murderer is one of you.
I don't feel safe here. I don't feel safe with any of them.
It's too
His accent just makes this seem like a comedy.
late to face the consequence.
I have investigated many crimes, but this
Policy of truth.
has altered the shape of my soul. I am Detective Hercule Poirot, and I will deliver your killer.
What you swore the time before.
Annette Bening, Rose Leslie.
How many great stories are tragedies?
I don't know. I mean, these movies just always... I feel like that could only really seem super exciting to you if you're a huge Anglophile. I like the cast, but I think that it just came off as very, very cheesy to me, and it's probably similar to how I felt about the first one, where Kenneth Branagh, he's just not a good director of cinematic films. Like, he can direct things where its emphasis is on the acting and the cast, and that's partially the case here, but I feel like when he's asked to create a spectacle, he's just a little bit too 1970s in his thinking. Like, this film looks like something that, you know, if it had come out in the 1970s, it would have been thrilling. But coming out today, it's just kind of questionable. We've kind of moved past this. And there's just nothing at stake, really, because they're trying to build up the consequences of this. You've got Hercule Poirot, of course, played by Kenneth Branagh himself, saying, "This is this murder is tearing at my soul, but the accent he's doing, it makes it seem like a Pink Panther movie. And obviously the cast is good, but like I said, I think that actresses like Daisy Ridley and Gal Gadot don't do particularly well in this type of movie. I think that they were meant for more action-y fare. When they're asked to sit still and just deliver lines, they prove that they're not like that type of actor. And I like Armie Hammer, obviously, but he's not enough to get me to cinemas personally. He's also in that category of actor who's so good looking that it's a little bit hard to take him seriously. So obviously there's a lot of good actors here. Letitia Wright from Black Panther and a very, very good episode of Black Mirror. Some other actors in the cast, Jennifer Saunders, Annette Bening. You know, it's a good, sophisticated cast, and I'm sure that there will be things to like in this movie. I did not hate Murder on the Orient Express, just to be clear. I'm just not entirely convinced that this is worth a trip to the cinema for most people, and especially not at this time. But let me know what you thought in the comments. If you really, really are interested in this, if you're super stoked for another adaptation of this particular Agatha Christie book, let me know. Let me know what actors in the cast, if I'm not giving someone a shout out, that you're excited to see in this film. And just let me know overall why you think that we're not sick to death of these Agatha Christie adaptations and why this one needs to go to theaters and not just be a TV movie. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're interested in seeing more trailer reactions and reviews of upcoming shows and movies, please consider subscribing. And as always, you can watch more videos right now.